Good afternoon viewers and welcome to the EduSat lecture for the science stream. Continuing with our series on computer science, we have with us Dr. U.S. Pandey, who is an associate professor at the School of Open Learning, University of Delhi. He specializes in computer science and we have been with us for computer lectures in grid computing. This is the third lecture in grid computing. Today we will be seeing more applications of grid computing, and we will also see the importance of security when there are so many computers that have been connected. So, we will be studying about cryptology and security on the grid. So, over to Dr. U.S. Pandey.
Okay. In the previous lectures, we have discussed a lot about the grid computing, what a grid computing is, how it is different from cloud computing environment, how it is different with all other activities, and then the real application, the different kind of projects which is going on worldwide, utilizing the different kind of activity which could be related with the medical science, it could be related with the engineering, or in other way you can see any part of the engineering. It could be mechanical, it could be electrical, it could be electronics, or as you know it is in computer science. Beside that, the different kind of natural sciences, it could be a physics, chemistry or other areas where the grids are going to be in use. Now, we are discussing with some more projects which are going on, although we have talked about that, the some CERN LCH computing grid, what we call LCG. Here you can see the different experiment, petabytes per second online system, this offline form, CERN computers are different speeds and everything are being put together. The physicists work on the analysis channels. Each institutes have more than 10 physicists working on one or different more channel. So, you can see it how by utilizing the grid computing environment, everything have been put together. Different scientists working at different institutions, it could be working in a different area, have been put together to channelize the work in a proper way. Now, see something more about it. We would like to learn about that. The LCG depends on two major science grid infrastructure, ESEG, enabling grid for e-science, OSG, the US Open Science Grid. Now, imagine a map of worldwide LCG infrastructure operated by this EGEE and OSG. So, you understand about the earth or about the or enabling defined the e-sciences, the different kind of grid computing projects are going on, and these informations is usually, if required, be shared among the different countries which is coming into all these different areas. So, what I mean to say is different kind of projects are still going on to look into the matter of earth sciences, to look into the matter related to the oceans, or as we have discussed about the earthquake, are the different kind of environmental issues which are related. By utilizing this grid computing different structures, we study about that, and if something meaningful is required through the grid computing, even the some solutions can be find out and appropriate action can be taken in this regard. Now, we will talk something about the national grids. Many countries have embraced grid computing and set up grid computing infrastructure. Just to name few, UK e-science grid, the grid Ireland, Nordu grid, Dutch grid, Pioneer grid which is the country of Poland, ACI grid of the France, Japanese grid, and different countries have their own different grid to do the different kind of computing environment, as well as they do have a different objective to study the different kind of activity which is happening in each part of their country and all. So, what I mean to say is this environment is not being used only just to study the earth science or the medical science or only engineering or only the environmental science. Technically, if you means is like that, it can be utilized, the grid computing can be utilized in any kind of environment which is suitable to not only human beings, but other part of the system also. So, just to do that kind of calculation, as we have mentioned, lot of activities are being taken place. Now, multinational grid examples. For example, a very popular app grid is there. A partnership in Asia Pacific region, the app grid involves Australia, Canada, China, Hong Kong, our country India is also part of this multi-grid, Japan, Malaysia, New Zealand, Philippines, Singapore, South Korea, Taiwan, Thailand, USA and Vietnam. So, this multinational grid example is going to be there, by which the information is being shared to all different countries as per their requirement, as per their utilization, and if this information is pertaining to one or two countries only, these informations is going to be shared with them. Now, you can imagine if something require, sometimes if a big tragedy is taking place in a one country, other countries are coming for helping them immediately. You may be knowing lot of tragedies which have taken part in any part of the world, that the countries which can help them, they are providing with the help in that way. Many things you come to the news, but what is the meaning of this grid, app grid and all, different kind of analysis, different kind of information is being shared among them, and if required they are being utilized based on that, and countries may provide help to each other if required, or they can share the information, they can compute the information, they can provide the meaningful information with each other. Now, here another grid enabling an example, a poorly defined and understood term, what we call, it does not mean simply executing a job of a grid platform. Almost all computers batch program can be shipped to remote grid site and executed in little more that was possible with the remote SSH connection. In other words, grid enabling should include utilizing the unique distribution nature of the grid platform. We have discussed earlier also, the grid computing does not mean only at a centralized place or only at one place you can do. Sometimes, as we have mentioned, if required, some kind of activity is taking at one place, if required, the same kind of activity can be done at different places. Now, imagine if everything you place in Delhi, if something happened to one places, what will happen to you, impact of your activities which you are pursuing. So, meaning by you do have a certain kind of activity, the same kind of activity can be done at any part of the country if possible. If possible, the another best location can be chooses, or geographically the best suitable activity can be performed at a best suitable place. Meaning by the same kind of platform, the environment can be put at many places, and those activity which was earlier being done at a particular places can be done at different places also if required. Now, grid enabling applications, with that in mind, a simple definition it could be being able to execute an application on grid platform using the distributed resources available on that platform. However, even that simple definition is not agreed upon by everyone. As we have just mentioned, the grid computing is not only a particular thing that you are going to execute it at one thing, or are going to be done at a particular platform, because grid computer performs something more. So, we would like to know more about that in way. A broad definition that matches our view of grid enabling application is: grid enabling refers to the adoption or development of a program to provide the capability of interfacing with the grid middleware in order to schedule and utilize resources from a dynamic and distributed pool of grid resources in a manner that effectively meets the program's need. You can imagine the in total grid computing environment can't be defined in one way. So, technically meaning each and every part of that aspects being put together in a collaborative way, as well as utilization of each and every part of that in a good manner in the total grid computing environment consists. How does one go about the grid enabling? Is still an open question, and in the research domain without a standard approach. As we have discussed, lot of examples related to the grid and all, you can imagine the area which is not very limited. Here we will describe various approaches also. We can divide the use of computing resources in a grid into two types: using multiple computers separately to resolve multiple problems, or using multiple computers collectively to solve a single problem. You can imagine these two kinds of different statements. Sometimes you do have a larger hundreds of problems which you are going to compute with your computing system environment. Now, you can give those problems to the computers. Many computers are there, and individually or even one computer that can perform that job are individually calculating each and everything to you and providing the results. What I mean to say, sometimes it may happen that there are many computers and they are solving a single computing, things like that. If a major problem is there, sometimes that problem cannot be resolved by one single processor or one simple computers. As we have given examples earlier also, we receive a lot amount of data every day, every second or every minute. You can call lot of information you are getting from satellites, lot of information you are collecting from oceans, lot of information you are collecting from earth sciences. Imagine if those informations are being computed every time the regular processing is going on for a bigger task to predict a lot of activity. Imagine whether a small computer can perform those activities. No, it is not possible. So, you require a computer, or in other words, you can say the multiple computers are the different parallel computing environment, so that these kind of information, these kind of activity can be computed, and if required they can predict the something like that. So, imagine in this kind of environment a grid computing or different kind of environment is required. I would like to mention here a very small example, although it is not directly related in that way, but computing environment, you would have listened about the war between Iraq and USA. USA was utilizing his Patriot missile for saving the big missiles, And when Iraq was firing their missile from different bases, the information through satellite goes to the Australia where the computing environment of USA was established. Imagine I am taking too much time just to tell about all those things. The missile is fired by Iraqi government. The path and each and everything about that is being calculated after receiving the information through satellite. The information and data goes to Australia, computation take place, the path and everything being calculated, sent back to the Saudi Arabia where the US was having the base, and then Patriot missile was fired in the reverse direction. Imagine I have told you that Iraq has fired the missile from one side in the reverse direction, in the same place, in the same direction, on the same path. USA has fired the Patriot missile, and you will be surprised to know that Patriot missile in between grab the missile which was fired by the Iraq, and whole war has been taken a different shape. So, what I mean to say, just imagine in the way of doing, getting information through satellite, compute into the grid environment without a small computers or the some computer can't do this kind of calculation, and that too by utilizing different mathematical model which give you the exact path of that particular missile could be. Imagine you do not know exact path, but mathematically you can calculate in which direction this will go. So, these are going to be the example how the proper calculation will take place, and in the time of war from the reverse direction a Patriot missile can be fired which will grab the missile in between anywhere. So, what I mean to say in nutshell that there are different computing environment. It could be separately, it could be collectively. So, the total environment or the total thing will dependent upon the requirement of that particular thing. Here if required we have to do collectively, or if the problems are individual, then definitely we will go to the separately, we will calculate each and every bit of information and provide the required result. Now, here you can see using multiple computers separately, parameters, sweep applications. In some domains, areas, scientists need to run the same program many times, but with different input data. Sweep across parameters space with the different values of input parameter values in search of a solution. Many cases, no readily computed answer and human intervention is involved. Search of a design of a space on anything. Here again we would like to pour more emphasis than that the multiple computers can work separately also, collectively also. Now, we will talk something about the secure connections also, which is very meaningful, especially in the grid computing context. Secure connections needed in many computer related activities, including e-business and grid computing. As already you know that what will happen if each and every things have been put together collectively to take job of each and every individual system properly, utilize all of them collectively and then try to get the proper result, and that too in a secure manner. You understand, especially in the area of computers, this security is a very important thing. as we have just mentioned, like in e-business or e-commerce activity, mobile commerce activity, every day you are performing different kind of job related to online activity. It could be online banking, it could be another e-banking, it could be buying anything online, it could be selling of anything online. There are many secure system is required. But still, as we have mentioned, because they are too useful, people used to perform this kind of activity. Already you know, online banking is in place. Everybody is used to do online banking, different kind of banking products, different kind of activity related to banks. You understand that these systems are basically fully secure, that is why you utilize this thing. Same thing will happen in the area of grid computing also. Or in this environment, if there are many collective systems have been taken place, which system is going to be used when, or how much time you are going to give to the each system, that too in a secure manner. There is no overlapping between 1 and 2. To get a proper result, a proper system should be in order. So, just to address all these things, secure connections are required. Here, the fundamental purpose, as we would like to say, to able to send confidential information from one point to another in a network without information being accessible by others, or who are not authorized to receive the information along the path or at the end of the connection. As already you are knowing, the things are happening in the case of internet. If you send an email to particular person, only the authorized person can get that mail, or only the authorized person can access that mail. Only the authorized person can see the mail. Other persons, if they are able to access some part of it, due to any way, they will not give the exact information. Or what we would like to say, only the authorized users will be accessible to those activities. Now, another very important factor is data confidentiality. This term is used to describe an information exchange protected against eavesdroppers. Now, what will happen? Imagine if your data is not confidential, or the information which you are having. Take a very simple example. If your organizational data is being utilized by someone else who is not authorized, he can make misuse of all those kind of activity, or even not, your system can't be called a secured system. Sometimes you listen that somebody has hacked the particular site. Imagine for a particular time, even for a second, if some hacking is taking place, they can steal lot of information from your site, or they can put lot of garbage to your place. They can destroy your connectivity system. They can destroy your whole networking environment. What in other means I want to say is that the data confidentiality is a most important factor when we are discussing about that. Now, in the same way as you have knowing all those things, data integrity is also important. The term used to describe assurance that message was not modified in transit, internationally or intentionally, or you can say by accident. The unfortunate reality that there are those that would try to access information not meant for them. You may be knowing in the data integrity is an important part when you are carrying the information, when you are sending the information. So, these things are going to be an important factor, and you have to make such a way so that these things should not be toppled. Another very important thing, as we have just mentioned, authentication. Now, what is happening especially in authentication, when the secure connections imply that information is only sent by one, that is identifiable by destination, and the destination is identifiable by source. So, authentication is a process of deciding whether a particular identity who he say he is applies to humans and systems are there. Now, in authorization, coupled with the authentication is following access. Imagine when you are discussing, when you are doing an online banking, they are simply asking you the login ID and password. Sometimes this is not only sufficient. Even if somebody has seen your account, still there are a lot of authentication process. Take an example, if you are going to make a bill payment, choose it, it will do it, but just before making the payment, again it will try to check your authentication, just providing some kind of OTP, one time password, or any other kind of ID number to you on your mobile or email, so that it can check whether really you are an authorized person to access your account or not. So, here authentication, the authorization is a very important point. The process of deciding whether a particular identity can access with the particular resources. The access control, the controlling specific types of access. We will deal with authorization later also. Now, already you are knowing password based authentication. As we have just mentioned, user enters a username and password. Username and password sent through network to the server. Server validates name and password and then respond. And as I just mentioned now, another layer of the security is going to be there, that even after entering to your own system, where you have put your login and password, sometimes somebody has stealed by some technique. As you know, people now sitting at different places can steal your password and login just by utilizing some software. Even they are not working with your system, they are far from you, they can control your computers. So, sometimes you have to be careful about that also, and that is why you have seen, especially in the online banking or different environment, they provide you the virtual keyboards also. It is not that the same keyboard you can use for controlling each and every action. You can take the help of virtual keyboard, so that even the person who is trying to steal your password or the login, they may be barred from doing that also. As we have just mentioned, after validating the name and password or given by this, the server will respond, and only then you become an authorized person, you can access those kind of things. Now, as we know, the typical name and password is like this. You have to log in, give the password, where user enters his username, as for example here ABW above, and password as shown. Usually you know that password does not display, so that no one can see it exactly what are the things, what are the characters have been used to do that. Again, the server validate the name and password and respond as we have just mentioned. If the username and password valid, simplicity already you know the access is granted. You can log in to that prompt, and if the user is not there, it will say there is no such user like that in prompt also. Now, a different login prompt behavior, just you see. Sometimes you log in, give your password, and after getting that it say authentication failed. Sometimes even you forget your password. So, different kind of environments are taking place, and as we would like to mention you that in every system may have the different process of authentication. Sometimes they ask some kind of queries with you, you have to answer them. Sometimes they ask a particular thing to rewrite, by that they judge your behavior also. So, as you know, beside doing all these kind of activity, even the biometric kind of applications are also being introduced. If you are not being at your computer system, sometimes your computer will not work. The computer will start only if it see you. It could be your face, it could be your iris recognition, or it could be any biometric kind of activity. So, this kind of different authentications are coming. You may be already knowing, you have seen the people who are working in the bank officials, they first put their fingerprints or they do some kind of biometric kind of activity, the computer accept it. After that they put their all activities, the meaning by even after utilizing their login, password or OTP, they have to go through the biometric system also to recheck whether he is the only authorized person who is accessing the bank's accounts and all. Meaning by what we mean to say, to make the system more secure, different kind of steps are being followed. The second version a little more secure because it reveals less information to potential intruder, but if name and password sent in plain text, vulnerable to interface and being stolen, need to send in a way it cannot be read by others during transmission. As already you know, a lot of precautions are being taken when you send the different information to anyone. The different kind of concept will come here also. We will try to tell you about this private keys, public keys and different kind of encryption techniques also, and how it is being more important, or you can say it is more relevant in the context where you are working either in a business or in a great computing environment or in a distributed environment. Security is among all is one of the most important activity. Now, here you can say a basic idea, maybe you are knowing about that, a thing called encryption. Here we convert the original message, the clear text or the plain text to the encrypted message that we call ciphertext. The text technically you can't read immediately. This encryption technique will convert exactly the original message into a different form where you can't read it, and only an authorized persons can decrypt it by utilizing the same kind of technique, or will discuss the key which he is having. Just like encryption, the decryption is also there. The objective of decryption is to reverse the process of retrieving plain text from the encrypted text. As we have just mentioned, your original text is going to be converted using the encryption. the same text can be decrypted utilizing the decryption technique. The term cryptography used to describe process. The things are being used in cryptography. Here it can either make encryption or decryption algorithms hidden so that an intruder cannot know it, or better, use known algorithm and use a hidden key with the algorithm. The cryptography algorithms with the keys, as we have just mentioned, that using the cryptographical techniques, we can convert a plain text into the different way using encryption, and the same thing can be reconverted by using the decryptions. As we have just mentioned, there are different types of keys are there. Usually we call there is a private key, public key, or in other words, if I put, suppose you have sent a message to a particular person, you have sent a mail, as we just say, only the authorized person can check that mail. In other words, the key which you are sending is with the authorized person only, so he can only see the message, no one other. And if you are sending sub message which is going to be read by all, that we call that you are utilizing the public key. So converts data scrambled binary patterns using a large binary number called a key. The key is also used to convert scrambled patterns back to the original data. The algorithms are well known. It is specific keys that must be kept secure. Here you can see the secret key cryptography. The sender and receiver have the same secret key in their possession. As I have just mentioned you, if I am sending a particular message to you and the receiver is there, so if receiver is having that particular key, only then he can see that particular content which I have sent. Otherwise, the receiver will not be in a position to see those kind of informations. You may be surprised to know, or maybe you are knowing, earlier these kind of activities are used to send the private messages to each part of this country. Not only this, even sometimes you have to convey some important message to your maybe juniors or somewhere at senior places. These kind of different secret keys are being used. Sender uses secret key to encrypt data. Naturally, when you are sending an email or we are sending any kind of message to someone, just like that you put up the information into an envelope, you have to use a secret key to encrypt that data, so that in between no one else can access that particular information. Same way, the receiver uses the same key to decrypt the data, because the receiver is having that particular key and he can open that envelope. In other words, you can put it. Known as symmetric cryptography, the key is called symmetric key. So, the different kind of keys are going to be there, as we have mentioned, that if receiver and sender both are having that particular key, only then that can be information be more secure and can be accessed only by the authorized person. Here you can see how the encryption and decryption take place. A sender, my message that must be kept secret, original data. You can see at both places we have the same key. The keys are here in encryption or decryption, as we have mentioned, are in the form of binary numbers. You can see here the cipher data, which is written in a way easily it can't be decrypted. The receiver might message that must be kept secret of the original data. So, here you can see the data is being converted utilizing that particular key. The data you will get, you receive the original message. This is the way how encryption and decryption take place. The very important thing, again would like to repeat, the key should be the same, only then the data can be decrypted. As earlier you know, people used to write something in the codes, and that can be decoded by a particular person who is knowing how to decode those kind of pattern. So, this was an usual practice, and this is a mathematically things have been done, and that is why you can say how the things can be decrypted and encrypted. Now, here you can see simple secret key example using exclusive OR operations. Imagine original value of bit is 0 and 0. Again, we would like to mention we are using simple encryption using exclusive OR operation, not suitable for real encryption and decryption. These are the cases are going to be different. If you have a little bit idea of the gates and all, you may be able to understand the exact information. The original value of bit is 0 and 0, 1 and 1. The possible value of keys could be 0, 1, 0. Encrypted bit you have to do 0, 1, 1, 0. The possible value of keys are going to be 0, 1, 0, 1, and the decrypted bit what you are getting after this 0, 0, 1, 1. So, you can see it, this is how the simple secret key things are going to be there. We can little bit tell you the more examples of that also. You can see here example, if I write data ABRA has a binary representation like this, you may be already knowing this way you can represent the things and then choose random string of a bit as a key. The things can be done. So, what I mean to say that easily it can't be decrypted things speedily, and no other person can understand the exact word or the exact message which was sent to you in there. Here you can see some more examples also of the different patterns to get encrypted message. To get the original message back, use same algorithms key. Don't use this algorithm, not as we have just mentioned exactly in the beginning, the same key will work, the same kind of activity, and then you can perform that thing. Common symmetric key cryptography system. In the data encryption standard that we call DES, 56 bit key plus 8 parity bits, that is in IBM in 1970s. The triple DES, the common cryptography systems which were there, that 112 bits plus 16 parity bits or 160 bit plus 24 parity bits. You can imagine the objective of this thing telling you how much secure information you can send and how much secured information you can access by using this encryption and decryption techniques. Another common symmetric encryption system, you may be knowing RC2 and RC4 use variable sized key, often between 40 to 128 bits, designed by Ron Rivers in 1987. RC2, a 64-bit block algorithm. RC4 is a stream algorithm that accepts a stream of bits and modifies that stream to create output bits. Has been used in wireless computer connection, but shown to be vulnerable to attack. Now, imagine again we would like to tell you, besides much more secure system are the different kind of keys and all, is still people used to hack the system and they try to grab your information, they try to make misuse of your system also. Problems with the symmetric key cryptography: need a way of both sender and receiver to obtain secret key without anyone else knowing the key. Need a different key for each receiver that sender may communicate with. Advantage of the symmetric key cryptography: it's fast encryption, decryption compared to asymmetric key cryptography, which we are just saying in that way. Asymmetric key cryptography also, Diffie-Hellman key exchange, enables two parties each having a private key to obtain each other's private key in a secure fashion. One each position of other's private key can be used to encrypt messages. First public invention Whitfield Diffley, Martin Hellmark and Raphael Simakan in 1970, which is very popular at that time. Patent granted in 80s, however, method already known in UK, classified community in early 70s. You can see how this Diffie-Hellman key exchange take place. The prime number, P the base and G not secret, site A with the private key and G the mod value P, you can have this private key, how the things are being computed, and as we have mentioned, you are going to get the proper message after getting each and everything. So this is how the different kind of encryption and decryption taking place. There are much more other techniques are going to be there related to do. We'll tell you something more about this in later on in the different lectures to you. Thanks.
Thank you, sir, for this informative lecture. I was thrilled by all the description and encryption keys that you discussed. Would you like to tell me a bit more about how decryption and encryption algorithms are created, and when we talk about similar keys at one end and the other end, how they can be mirrored?
You are very much rightly asked exactly. See, this is simply kind of activities are going to be there. Basically, if you call, these are the different mathematical models are going to be there, and algorithms in the form have been developed for that. Different kind of difficult algorithms are going to be there. It would be totally different upon the requirement of the messages and all, what kind of the security you want to provide in that way. As we have just mentioned, there is a technique called private key and there is one called public key is going to be there. The private key, when you are going to send your message to a particular person, you take an example, you are sending an email to your friend, you know about the authorized mail which have been given to you. When you are sending a mail to that particular person, he can access that mail, but if you write some email address wrongly, it can't be accessed. And if you access the, if you just write the mail, when he open the mail, he get the mail exactly in the same form like you have sent it. But even if the same mail is being accessed by someone else, he can't see it. What I mean to say, this kind of system is already built into the system. Different kind of secure systems are going to be there. In other words, they are going to be secured just like that. If you have a full packet where one side it is sealed, another side it is sealed, and when it reach to a destination, that seal can be opened. Again, some of the examples, again I am doing same thing happening in the case of when you are doing kind of online banking or doing processing. You are doing the processing, your all informations are well secured, and maybe knowing the moment you open the system, it gives this is a full encryption. These good techniques are being utilized into that kind of system. Not only this, by utilizing these kind of keys, as we have mentioned, the public key is also there. If you want that information to go to each and everyone, you can use that kind of secret key. automatically those information will reach to each and everyone. In the case of private, the information can be much more secure. Still, some of the more thing which you would like to know, that doing with different kind of algorithms which are playing important role just to make things more secure. But still, as you know, this is not the highest level of security. More kind of research, more kind of difficult algorithms are being developed. Still every day a new kind of processing techniques are taking place, so that the different kind of hackers or the other persons don't try to steal the kind of information and everything is going on. Why I am just trying to mention about, although we have just taken a key like wireless kind of communication. Now you know, in the wireless kind of communication, these things are become more important. How the system try to become more secure, how the other kind of activity should take place, the encryption and decryption techniques is taken place easily.
Sir, one question regarding security, but in the context of a high performance computing and a grid. So, high performance computing is one aspect of a supercomputer, and in grid. So, which one is a better or a more secure system when we are looking at in terms of maybe national security, in terms of strategic military planning, and in terms of e-commerce? So, which one do you think is a better and a more efficient system?
A very important question, and very rightly you ask. Actually, this different computing environment, it could be any computing environment. Usually each organization is taking each and every step to make the system much more secure. You may take a very simple example of the university data. For example, we at Delhi University, at different places, we have lakhs of students' informations, and even many people looking for that particular information. We are all the data we are trying to put in a much more secure way. You are very rightly asked regarding the military informations. As you mentioned about all those things, the data which are coming into a different domain, you have to make a much more secure way. So in that kind of situation, different steps are being taken. Only, as we would like to tell you here, that cryptography is not the only one technique by which this kind of techniques are going to be there. We have talked earlier also, there is steganography, there are many other kind of techniques how these systems are trying to become more secure. Take an example, I would like to mention here with a very small story. Maybe you have listened about when 9 and 11 war taken place, the steganography, new terminologies has come into the picture, where this terrorist used to send the information. They are not using the cryptography or encrypted technique. They are utilizing this steganography, sending messages through pictures. They are encrypting their message through the mathematical models into a pictures, and that picture is going to be seen by the authorized user, or again I am putting the same private user. The things which has come at that time in the picture, nude photographs of girls were sent to their places. Military persons are the viewers, they are taking researchers, they are thinking that somebody has done something maliciously. But when they detect it, they take the leaves of a flower, they found lot of material is lying into that. Imagine what I am trying to say. Besides using some technique of the encryption and decryption, many techniques or many steps are being taken to become system more secure. So the question which you ask, the computing environment, it could be a high computing environment, it could be e-commerce related activity, it could be an online banking activity, or even it could be a military operations activity. They have to put their system secure at every places. It could be at database level, it could be at operations level, and other structures. They have to take all measures of all available technologies related to the security system, because that is a more challenging job. Even you may have listened about, sometimes the NASA site have been hacked. Yes. Some of the other military major operation activities are being hacked. So when you are doing this kind of technical activities, even if you are a 100% kind of secure system, still there is a possibility to do kind of hacking, because in my opinion technologically computers can't be say that it's more than 100% safe, because the moment it has come into the public domain, anything is possible. And still, even for your example, for other things, you like to know that banks and other officials or organizations are paying a huge amount to the ethical hackers. Maybe you know about the ethical hackers, just to check whether their system is running fine or not. They are paying crores of rupees to these hackers to check whether the system is secured or not. So very rightly you ask that every organization, it could be for high performance, high activities, space related activities, these need to be addressed to check properly, to secure properly, and do their up to the mark system.
Definitely, any kind of a system which can be the grid or the cyber system. Whenever we are talking about security, we are talking about a system which is attaining its perfection. It is still in a state of attaining perfection, and while it is attaining perfection, there is the threats which are again gaining momentum, and so is our attempts to provide better and better security. Another question I would like to ask you is about data integrity. When we are keeping or storing our data, archiving the data on the grid, sir, what are the aspects that need to be taken care?
Very rightly, again I would like to mention here, these data integrity and data definitively means the basic objective is that when you are using a large volume of data, we have discussed yesterday about the metadata and all about that also. When you are utilizing large volume of data, the authentication of data is more important. When you are computing such kind of things, some kind of high performance activity, are utilizing the some kind of data into the research activity. So the authentication of that data is must, the integrity of that data is must, otherwise you will not be getting the required result, because these are the very sensitive kind of activity. So make sure that the data which you are getting is up to the mark, you have got it through the proper resources, and you have to do it in that way.
Sir, one more question regarding last one. In medicine, how can we bring together the expertise of doctors towards other patients, maybe in other continents, using this technology, and then we can probably wind up?
Very good questions. I mean, we do have a very short time left, because this is a very important topic. You know that a lot of making this kind of medical, the formulas are easily available, accessible. By utilizing these computers, these things become too easy that even the doctors can have the full of interaction between them. They address the each and every activities, what kind of structure and why this kind of medicine have been chooses, each and everything can be calculated properly, and biologically, as you mentioned, you can discuss amongst the doctor which kind of technique is going to be the suitable and why it is suitable. Each and every
we can use robotics
asked.
Also
Exactly.
for interfacing
With lot of activity, as we have just discussing earlier also, that different kind of robotics operations are taking place in our country also, so that you understand the how much it is going to be useful in your medical science field especially.
Thank you very much, sir, for answering all our questions. Our viewers can look up this lecture on the YouTube and of course send their questions to the email address shown below. Thank you.